Hey there YouTube, PD Two Finger here with a vape review. The Smok Xpro M80. Now, Smok is a company, they used to be called Smok Tech. Now they have shortened their name to Smok.
Or do you say smoke?
The M80 is the predecessor. It had a little brother called the Xpro M65, which was the big brother to the M50. So there was the M50, then they came out with the M65, now we got the M80. The M65 was actually very popular, so this is, basically this is like the third version on the same type of an idea, which is an all-in-one, self-contained, comes with the battery included device, all digital, does everything. The one thing people really griped about with the M65 was it had 4 screws you had to remove every time you wanted to charge the battery. Well, the folks at Smok, they listened, and they have, now you merely USB charge the M80. And I do want to say, there was a company called Cloudpour, and they had some issues with their USB charging. So some people were really leery about that. They're like, don't charge through USB. You may hear that. That is specific to the Cloudpour mods. The Smok does not have that issue. Now, I did include a link in the description from, this is provided to us by the Smokenmist Corporation. Aaron has sent me some items for review. So if you would like to click, please do me a favor and click on the link below. The unit does sell for $59.25 from Smokenmist, and any order over $50 is free shipping. So this is a United States company, it's in Arizona. You could pick this up for under $60 and receive it shipped to your door very quickly. So it's outstanding value, free shipping. Now, in this review, I'm going to be going through some information. I collected some brief thoughts on it. The next review I'm going to be doing is a sub-ohm tank. This is the Arctic tank. This is an excellent tank, and I'm going to be matching these two up and demonstrating them. I will go ahead and vape this at the end of this video, but basically there's going to be 2 more videos I'm going to be producing right off the bat that feature the Smok Xpro M80. I'm just going to call it the M80. With the, should I go and get a Smok and wear that? But yeah, I've got this Smokenmist Strawberry Monroe, and I do like strawberry vapes. And I took a whiff of this. I inhaled the vapor, the aroma. I should not confuse my viewers. I smelled this stuff, and it's like, oh man, I wish there was some way to waft this. They need to invent that device. Smell screen. It features a 4,000 milliamp lithium polymer internal battery. 4,000 milliamps equals 2,400 puffs. So you could vape this thing. Like, I have a 4,000 milliamp device here. I charge it once, twice a week. Even if this was the only device that you were vaping on, you'd find yourself charging it every 2 or 3 days. With that 4,000 milliamps, it's unbelievable. It is a lithium polymer. Typically, we're using lithium ion. Lithium polymer is a more advanced, I believe, more pricey style of battery that's used in like drones, and it's like the latest state-of-the-art type of battery technology. And the battery pack that's inside of this is basically 2 18650 style LiPo cells. So if it was bone dry, completely empty, it would take 90 minutes to charge both of these cells, which is amazing. That's a huge thumbs up point towards this device. The LiPo cells have a 2.5 to 3 year lifespan, so at that point you were still wanting to utilize the device and the batteries failed. You could indeed take this to your local shop or repair guy, your vape shop, and they would probably be, more than thrilled to replace the cells. If you were a handy guy, it looks to me like these are Allen or hex style fasteners, 4 of them here. You could probably just find a replacement battery online and replace it. It is a lightweight, compact, easy to operate, and crammed full of features. Manufactured from high precision aluminum and zinc alloy construction, it can withstand 200 kilogram impact, which is, that sounds pretty good to me. I mean, I think, how much do I weigh in kilograms? Now, the device is CE safety certified and comes just crammed with all sorts of safety features. There's these air holes on the bottom which feature venting for heat dissipation, and if there was an issue, venting. Here's our USB charge port. It operates from 6 all the way up to 80 watts. Look at this thing, 80 watts out of this. And it will fire as low as 0.10. So it does sub-ohm all the way down to 0.10. Extra large firing switch. There's the plus and minus buttons with a reset button in the middle. OLED, which stands for organic LED, and that doesn't mean that it's manufactured from potato and banana peels. It's basically OLED is like the latest state-of-the-art type of display. It's fine pixels. They can just do a lot more with it, and they're very bright. You have no problem reading this outdoors. The base, again, with this charging port, initially some of these units, I'm pretty much sure that all of them have been upgraded to the latest firmware. Firmware is just software. It's just the brain of the thing. But initially they changed some things about the firmware, so you went ahead with the included USB cable. You would connect this to your computer, go online, and update the brain. I'm not sure if they're going to be coming out with any additional firmware updates to fix the temperature control mode. That certainly would be something else if they did, because if there is a downside to this device, it's that the temperature control mode doesn't work. Now, temperature control requires a nickel type wire atomizer. It brings the temperature up. It's kind of a variable temp. It reads in joules. It is the latest thing. Personally, I have not even considered getting into temperature control. I'm on the verge of getting into sub-ohming, which I'm going to be using the Arctic sub-ohm coil with this. So that is the downside with this device, is the temperature control. Some folks feel that it works, other folks feel that it's horrible. I'm going to just throw that out there and say there is a downside to this product, and that is that the temperature control supposedly doesn't work. I heard one guy say that it took 5 to 7 seconds for it to warm up in that mode, so you'd be sitting there, you know, so a huge thumbs down for the temperature control. But it shouldn't discourage you from considering purchasing this device, because for what you get for the cost, that it's, you know, a well-known brand, you know, Smok Tech, they've been around since the beginning, that it's an 80 watt device with these two LiPo, the 4000 mAh, 90-minute USB charging, comes with all of these other features, and it's a safe device. So for me, it's like, it's real easy for me to let go of that temperature control idea, and who knows, maybe down the road they might firmware update that. I'd be surprised if they did, to be honest with you, but temperature control, at this moment and in the near future, it is really not, it's something I really don't care to concern myself with. Additional features, the 510 connector pin is a spring-loaded pin, floating pin, that's what we all want. The safety features are short control, so if you build the atomizer wrong and it's shorted, it lets you know, it won't fire. If it's an open circuit, it lets you know about that. It has the temp control mode, which that could be considered a safety feature, right? No dry hits, no burnt hits, supposedly. Hey, that sounds safer than a burnt hit to me. Now, there is discharge protection, overcharge protection, and it is a locking device. Operates in variable wattage mode, which if you change out atomizers, let's say you had a 0.2 and then you had a 2.6, it would automatically adjust it to the same output. So you wouldn't have to worry about scorching your throat. Kind of a no-brainer. You set it at the wattage you like to vape at. Doesn't matter what you put on the connect to the device, you're always going to get that same output of watts. So there's that variable wattage mode, which is what I'm going to be running it in. Then there's something called the mech mode. Now, when you think of a mech mod, that's like this. Where it's just, the battery is just getting connected. It's just, there's no circuitry. It's just when you hit the switch, it's connecting and you're vaping whatever is in the battery. You know, if it's a full charge, it's going to hit harder. If it's, you know, I've been vaping all day and I hit it, it's going to be less, which is the case right now. So there is, and to be honest with you, I'm interested in monkeying around with that. I haven't really played with it. It seems like a gimmicky feature to me because Well, for one, I know, yeah, this button may be oversized, but I seriously doubt you have to have a real beefy switch to pull that off. So it does have this feature. I am clueless as far as its operation. Forgive me, but I am pretty sure that I'm not going to be operating the unit in its mech mode. I'm not going to be operating the unit in its temperature control mode. I'm going to be running it in variable wattage. But there are 3 modes to choose from. It comes with a 60-day warranty. There is a clock and calendar built into this device. You can lock the wattage. And this clock calendar thing also includes a puff counter and a puff planner. So at the end of the day, I could take a look and say, wow, I puffed 80 times on this device today. Or better yet, the puff planner. And I'm really planning on implementing this as I go towards reducing to 0 nic. That last month, when I've gotten it down to 1 milligram nicotine, what my plan to do is to limit my puffs. You know, ideally in my head, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have all 0 nic in all my tanks, and this tank is going to have 1 mil nic in it, and I'm going to set it to however many puffs and then reduce that as time goes on. So that is a very cool feature. Now I know that it disables the unit. If you set it 8 puffs, that's all I'm going to give myself, and you go for that 9th puff, well, nothing's going to happen because you have limited yourself. And yeah, I could go in there and cheat and reprogram it, but I have enough backbone. I have enough character to stick to my own plans when it comes to these sort of things. So very cool feature. Puff planner along with the puff counter. So yeah, $59.25, free shipping over 50 from Smokenmist. The pros, it is such a sleek unit, the way it feels in my hand, how solid it feels with the chrome top and bottom plates, the venting. I really like everything about this mod, aesthetically and ergonomically. I like the idea that there is a pass-through mode. So if I do get a little lazy and I forget to charge it, I can merely go ahead and connect the charge, and it's charging, and I'm like, I really want to vape off that thing. Well, you don't have to wait. It's got a pass-through, so you go ahead and vape while it's in charge mode. As long as this is connected to your power supply or your computer, you're going to be able to voltage pass through, charge and vape at the same time. How cool is that? Having the puff counter, having the calendar, having the clock. It has an analog clock mode where you can actually see a little clock like an old-fashioned watch. I'm terrible with watches. I can't wear a watch. So with all these features, I have to give it like kind of a thumbs up like this. I can't give it a like, whoa, double through the roof, super thumbs up. I can't, because the temperature control is a joke. As far as this mech mode, I might play around with that and see how that works. I'm guessing I'm going to be sticking with variable wattage. Just as a standpoint of being an honest reviewer, I'm giving it, but personally, I'm giving it a huge thumbs up, because I don't care about temperature control. But thumbs down, really the only thumbs down, as I can tell, is that the temperature control mode's a joke. Some guy mentioned 5 to 7 ramp up time. That's ridiculous. The other thumbs down, I like to run these type of things in a silicone case. Here's my Sigelli 100 watt, and it actually came with a little rubberized protector case, and I really like that. I like it enough to go ahead and, like with my mini, my iStick 30, I went and purchased one separately. It was like $2, or it was $1.57, I think. And it's a little case. There isn't one available. You can get these sticker wraps. How are those? Does anyone know? Anyone ever buy it? They're like $7, and it's like a sticker. I think that would come off. I don't know. They look like carbon fiber. So pretty much for the thumbs down for this device, I'm going to say that they don't have a silicone wrap. I'm guessing maybe that will be rectified in the near future, and then the fact that the temperature control isn't really dead on. So I still got you guys here. I'm going to go ahead and put a tank. This is a 0.5. It's a half an ohm tank with Smokenmist Raspberry Lemonade on here. So we go ahead and take a look. It's set at 15.7 watts. Set at 15.7. Now I did hear somebody say that they compared this device running it at 80 watts up against a Sigelli 100 set at 80 watts, and it was identical. So it is true spec according to other reviewers. It's not like they didn't exaggerate or lie about it. It is available in 4 shades. They have the night black. This is the night black. It's got a little bit of a texture to the black. There is a silver white. There is the space gray, which is like a texturized argent. If you hate fingerprints, that would probably be the way to go. And then there's a rose gold as well. So yeah, I suppose I could turn it up a little bit. I don't like vaping real high. I'll turn it up to 25. There we go, that's up at 25 watts and vape that for you. A little hot at 25 watts. Not hot, it's warm. You know, I like a warm vape, but not so warm that I can feel it. And when you first hit it, it kind of goes slow through about 10 numbers, and then it speeds up real fast. So you certainly don't have to worry about waiting around when you're changing everything. It's kind of a little bit different in how it operates. Like holding both the plus and minus buttons don't do anything. So I still have to acclimate myself to the operation of cycling through to get to the different menus, utilizing the single button. 3 taps, 5 taps on and off, but really not much. I mean, I was able to set the calendar and the clock. It took me, you know, I got it on my 3rd try. I kind of got a couple of missteps, but pretty much intuitive operation, does include the instructions. I'm going to have to give this, personally, I'm going to give it a huge thumbs up. I can't, to you guys as an honest reviewer, I got to give it like, you know, in between, just because of that temp control. I'm sure there's going to be a silicone case. I know this is going to be a real popular device, so check it out over at Smokenmist if you're interested. I'm going to have the Arctic review mating it up again and vape a lot higher. I'm going to take the sucker all the way up to 80 watts with the Arctic 0.2 ohm coil. And I'm also going to be featuring this device in my Strawberry Monroe review. So thank you so much for joining me for this today. Hats off to Smokenmist, fabulous company. Take a look over there. Take a look at the Smokenmist difference. The Smok Xpro M80 Plus, available from Smokenmist in Tempe, Arizona for $59.25. I have to give it a almost huge thumbs up. This is a moderate thumbs up, simply because on the temperature control. So thanks again, you guys, and peace.